No, this is not an official Paladin oath. This is from D&D Beyond. It's Critical Role content, which is practically official by this point. But I saw it on D&D Beyond. I thought it was a neat one, and I wanted to share it here. So we're throwing this in the ring with the official Paladin oaths for your consideration. Hey fellow Game Masters, I'm Richard Quiner, and welcome back to the RPG Daily, your daily dose of all things tabletop role-playing games, helping you build your world and master your game. If you're seeing this and you're not subscribed, I would appreciate you to click that little button there so you can see more videos. Also go subscribe to my Instagram page, or I should say follow my Instagram page, because that's what you do over there, to see other content that I post on Instagram. Also come join the Discord server and talk D&D with us. Let's get into this oath. The Oath of the Open Sea. This one was created by Matt Mercer and the Critical Role people. That's why it's popular. It came out on the scene just as I was doing this series, so I decided I'm going to talk about this Oath of the Open Sea. The Oath of the Open Sea is for the Paladins that really are called to the freedom and the love of exploration on the open ocean. It really calls out to sailors and explorers who live their life of freedom and want to see and make sure that other people have the same freedoms that they do. This oath is about fighting against the oppressors that would keep people from that freedom and really just having a good time. And while these paladins love the nature and the beauty that the sea provides, they will fight against the creatures and the monsters that look to destroy the beauty that is out there. It's an interesting class. I kind of dig it. This is a really interesting oath that, dealing with the ocean themes, I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. I have a fond place in my heart for the ocean theme. I have a Fire Genasi Swashbuckler Rogue, was my first ever 5e character. The swashbuckling concept is great, and I enjoy that. That being said, I won't be including this subclass in my ranking video in a couple days. Let's talk about the Tenets of the Open Sea. Tenets, we know, are basic beliefs that all paladins within an oath hold, and the open sea is just like the others. They believe in some things. There is no greater life than a life lived free is their first tenet. This is all about the freedom to get out and explore and see the world. They believe everyone should experience this same kind of freedom. Trust the skies. Sailors navigate by the stars, they're moved by the wind, they follow the ocean currents. It's basically the idea of trust nature and you won't go wrong. Adapt like water. You would think being on the ocean, this would be pretty normal. Adapting like water is that waters are flexible and flow. They can fit any container, but at the same time, they can become a powerful force of nature for damage and destruction and defense. Explore the uncharted is the last of their tenets, which means there's a lot out there to see on the open ocean. There's a lot of mysteries to find, and you should go out and seek those out and find your greatness. Now that we understand the beliefs of the Oath of the Open Sea, let's talk about the oath spells. We all know oath spells, similar to Cleric and Artificer spells. Every Paladin oath gets these spells. There are 2 spells you get that are always prepared for you. They don't count against the number of prepared spells, and no matter what list they are from originally, for you, under this oath, they count as Paladin spells. At level 3, you get Create or Destroy Water and Expeditious Retreat. Expeditious Retreat is a really simple ability. It lets you cast this spell and gives you the opportunity to dash as a bonus action on each of your turns for up to 10 minutes. This is a big mobility boost for any character, really. At level 5, you get the spell Augury and Misty Step. We talked about Augury in the Oath of the Watchers video. Misty Step we've also talked about. It's a really simple 30-foot teleportation spell where they can move to an unoccupied space within range. At level 9, you get Call Lightning and Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave is a fun one. It lets you conjure a wave of water up to 30 feet long by 10 foot deep by 10 foot tall. So it's a pretty good sized wave. This wave crashes onto your enemies, forcing them to make a dexterity saving throw, or they take 4d8 bludgeoning damage and are knocked prone. For level 13, you get the spells Control Water and Freedom of Movement. Control Water lets you become a waterbender for a while, but much larger quantities of water. When you cast Control Water for the next 10 minutes, you can control water that are within 300 feet of you, and pretty large amounts too. There are actually several different effects in the spell that you can perform with the water, but you should read up on each of those. For the duration of the spell on each of your turns, one of these effects can be activated, repeated, or changed as an action. At level 17, you get Commune with Nature and Maelstrom. Maelstrom, it creates a small whirlpool. It's a 30-foot radius by 5-foot deep pool of water that has a swirling effect, of course. It creates difficult terrain for moving around through, and any creature that is in this area must make a strength saving throw, or they take 6d6 bludgeoning damage from the water and are dragged closer to the center of this maelstrom, making it harder to get out because it's difficult terrain and then halves your movement. I like the idea of this one. I like that idea. At level 3, you're going to get your Channel Divinity abilities. You get 2 choices of abilities. You may use one choice of ability once per day, and then you have to take a long rest before you can use a Channel Divinity again. For the Oath of the Open Sea, your first one is called Marine Layer. You are basically using the ocean to create a fog, cloud, / aura around you. When you use this Channel Divinity, it costs an action to activate, and it creates a 20-foot radius, I guess, sphere of fog around you. Any creatures inside this fog, including yourself, are lightly obscured, and for the next 10 minutes, this fog also cannot be dispersed. It also moves with you and flows around corners and into crevices. Your other Channel Divinity is called Fury of the Tides, and you are pushing the wave and the power of the waves into your attacks. This is an interesting Channel Divinity ability. You activate it as a bonus action, and it lasts for 1 minute. While this is activated once per turn, when you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you may use this feature to push them 10 feet if you choose. If they are already pushed against the surface and can't be pushed any further, you may instead have them take bludgeoning damage equal to your Charisma ability score modifier. At level 7, we're going to expand our auras with the Aura of Liberation. This one is all about freedom. While you are not incapacitated, this aura is active, and you and any creature that you choose within 10 feet of you cannot be grappled or restrained. If there is a creature that is already grappled or restrained, they may get out of that grapple or restraint by just spending 5 feet of movement. In addition to that, you also ignore underwater penalties for movement and attacks, meaning if you're underwater, you don't get disadvantage on attack rolls in that scenario. At level 15, you get the feature Stormy Waters. This is your rebuttal, this is your reaction ability. Whenever a creature enters or exits your melee range, as a reaction, you can cause that creature to take 1d12 bludgeoning damage. In addition to that, the creature then has to make a strength saving throw, or they are knocked prone if they fail. And last, the level 20 capstone ability of the Oath of the Open Sea is called Mythic Swashbuckler. That's right, you embody the epic legendary sea captains of old, you become the paragon of heroic adventure, and you gain a whole lot of bonuses from it. You activate this ability as an action, and it lasts for 1 minute. What are these bonuses, you ask? Well, climbing doesn't cost any extra movement. That's the first one, and you get advantage on any athletic checks. If you are within 5 feet of a target creature, and no other creatures are within 5 feet of it, you can gain advantage on your attack rolls against it. You gain the ability to use a dodge action as a bonus action instead of using your full action, and you gain advantage on dexterity saving throws versus spell effects that you can see. What that means, you know, a fireball, you can see it coming, you gain advantage on your dex save, that kind of thing. You can use this Mythic Swashbuckler ability once per long rest. Even though this isn't an officially published subclass, I would probably allow this to be played in a campaign of mine if I were doing an ocean seafaring kind of campaign. I think it sounds fun. The theme is very, very blatant. It's right there on display for everyone to see. So I really do enjoy that about this subclass. I think also, though, thematically in my mind, and feel free to disagree in the comments below, just keep it civil. In my mind, I see this not as a heavy armor wearing type paladin, but more as one that will wear studded leather perhaps, have a higher dexterity, maybe use finesse weapons, and just be a lot more fast and mobile. This is Dread Pirate Roberts, this is Captain Jack Sparrow, fast moving, quick hitting paladin. I think that's where I see this myself, casting spells, doing that, but I don't see the heavy armor wearing type in this case. Obviously, this kind of paladin would fit really well in a seafaring adventure, such as the ones from the Ghost of Saltmarsh books, or also I think in an elemental themed adventure such as Princes of the Apocalypse, where they might have to deal with the elemental plane of water might be kind of interesting, and this could come into play and be really useful there as well. That's just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. I've been Richard. Thanks for watching.